after all the fights, all the problems we went through, every disappointment, every hard time we have had, we lost our home, we lost our business and income. We had no alternative, no other jobs, no other income. So seeing that everything was gone, what were we supposed to do? They said, oh, you are German, you can go back to Germany. Let me see something. Let me just go something. And lean over to mommy.
Yes.
And you can put it back a little bit more.
Say, hey!
Yeah, and then all
Hey! We're all in there.
Yeah.
Together.
I mean, not too short or nothing.
Peace.
Oh, you just have to take
She's
it.
not too short.
There must be that one.
You are not too short.
I'm not too short.
Huh?
It's recording, you know.
Again?
Yes. I can't. That's one too good. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mel, and we are here with mommy. So Nano says another story time with mommy.
You look so whiter than me right now.
Also, cause I'm closer to the light, Mayumi. We also have my brother
You
Yasha
still
here.
whiter than me.
You should look pink and you look white.
And my sister Mayumi. Wanna stop Kiki?
Bare things are going on in this video. Yeah.
Don't remember what you were saying?
No.
It's mommy's story time.
Hey lovelies!
Anyways, guys.
You know mommy's here, so you know what time it is. Mommy's story time. Mommy's story time.
So mommy, take over. You know you have the three stooges here, so
Yeah. What?
no. Come here, Kiki. Okay, hi Mel's lovelies. Last time we stopped with
Blue balls?
the what?
Blue balls?
No.
Sorry, it's not funny.
Last time we
Building the restaurant
when
on the
when
roof.
we were building the restaurant on the roof in order to be able to continue a business to live and survive, basically. So
Party City.
when we were practically finished already with the restaurant part. We had tables up there already, the bar was built. All we had to do was really put in the equipment and the drinks and the glasses.
Thought you were gonna say AC.
No.
In the open place.
We never had. I never ever had
I
AC
know.
in my life in
And
any house.
it was
I
all
lived in.
completely opened all the way around.
Of course, it was
apart from the bar.
like the marina was open.
Yeah.
Basically, it was the same thing, only on top of a little bit higher with a beautiful view. So one day we started we had the steps built up already, but we needed a rail for it because of course we couldn't have people walk up and down the steps without any rail. So that morning we were starting to build the rail when suddenly a person came in, introduced himself and said, oh, he is from the parish council, and if we have a building permit for what we were doing there. And I was like, no, because when we rebuilt the marina, we just did it and nobody asked us for no building permit. So I assumed doing what we were doing, especially as it was not made from concrete or any permanent structure, how that you could really not demolish in no time. My information was that you did not need a building permit. So he said, oh yeah, but you need a building permit and you can't do without. And I mean, it was like, okay, so what do I have to do to get one? And then you talk to me about going to an architect, and then the architect has to make a plan, and then I have to submit it to the roads and works department, and from there they have to submit it to the parish council, and so on and so on and so on. And I was like, okay, then I will see that we get to it. Yeah, but in the meantime, you have to stop building. And I was like, okay. So that will hold us up, because remember, we had friends of ours that did come from Germany to help us, and they of course didn't have time forever and needed to go back, and we were kind of hoping to get everything set up and finished before they had to leave.
So hold on, didn't we just still put up the railing and stuff like that?
Huh?
Didn't we just still put up the railing and
I
stuff
think
like
we
that?
did that because,
Yeah.
you know, me, if you listen to my stories from before, certain things I tend to ignore. You know,
Unruly she be.
well, but that made me survive in many situations before. So, anyhow, I started the process. I inquired for an architect and stuff like that, and then I met, I think it was the same day or the day after, I met a person that I knew very well, and she looked at me and said, but Sabina, you know, Mr. doesn't want you to do what you are doing. And I said, but I spoke to him. I showed him and explained to him what we were doing. Mr. by the way, was the landlord for the premises. So, but I said, but I did talk to him and I showed him what we are planning to do, and he had no objections and he wasn't saying anything to me, so this is kind of weird, you know. And then I got a little bit nervous, but I couldn't see Mr. that day. He wasn't around or whatever. And then next day, a lawyer came in, which I know was Mr. Lawyer, and handed me a letter. And when I opened that letter, guess what? Our dear landlord gave us notice. We had to vacate the premises within a month, which was by right not even correct, because he was still getting rent, or he had been paid rent for over a year for us, and that year wasn't over yet. So normally he couldn't even give us notice for that point in time. He would have at least would have had to give us time until that lease time would have been finished, but he practically threw us out. And he never ever had the guts to look me in my face and say, Sabina, I'm going to give you notice. He didn't say nothing. He didn't prepare us. He didn't tell us anything. When I tried to see him, apparently he was never there. So he never had the guts to say nothing to us. And you must imagine, I mean, we were there for 12 years. We had that business for 12 years.
We were there a long time.
Yeah. And we always got along fine. We never had a problem. He always got his rent, whatever. We never had a problem. I mean, if there was something happening, we could talk it out, and it was always fair and always fine. And he was basically, I don't see the reason why.
I think he just got a better offer, more money.
Probably he got a better offer. That's possible.
Because he couldn't raise your rent, or you know,
Not
take
really
more
that
from you
high,
because you were
yeah.
there so long.
That's possible.
Probably got, you know, a really good offer, and then say, you know what, maybe twice what you're paying or 3 times what you're paying, and just said, you know what, let's just do that.
Well, because I mean, seriously, I knew he was feeling bad, or had a guilty conscience, because, as I said, he would not face us at all, you know. So now, after all the fights, all the problems we went through, every disappointment, every hard time we have had, and starting to rebuild, find ourselves another opportunity to continue live in Jamaica, to do what we love, and then you get this direct lick over your head, like boom, I don't want you here anymore, you have to leave. You know, and it really hit me hard. I think it hit all of
Well,
us.
it
hard,
did
right?
hit all of us because our only other option was to go to Germany at that
Exactly,
point.
because we lost our home, we lost our business and income. We had no alternative, no other jobs, no other income. So, seeing that everything was gone, what were we supposed to do? And you see, that is when the prophecy basically of the person from the port authority became true. Because remember I told you, they said, oh, you are German, you can go back to Germany. And so we stood there, and we had built our little houses, we had built the restaurant part. The material was practically all
We used up
reused,
most of the
you know?
material from the marina.
And now we was-
used up most of it to
right.
build everything
And now
that
we
we
were
built out
standing
there.
there, and what to do? And of course, we didn't want to leave what we had there for whoever would come after us.
Mm-hmm.
So, solution.
Take
Everything apart.
Exactly, and that's where you guys come in, because honestly, I was from that
Well-
moment on, I was practically traumatized, and I was numb. I was paralyzed. I could barely do anything anymore. I could barely think anymore. A good friend of mine, she was not there at the time. She offered me a place in her place in Long Bay to stay. And honestly,
Well, what we actually did is we started taking the restaurant apart, taking everything back down, putting it one side because we found somebody where we could keep the stuff.
yeah, we would who would store it for us.
Store it for us because we're always still planning to come back as soon as possible, try to open something somewhere else. It was
Yeah.
just, for now, we had to leave because we didn't have any other option. So we started taking apart the restaurant upstairs. I mean, we had a big party before we took that apart, of course, because we were having parties constantly. But we took that apart. Then I think we started on like your room. Everybody was in that one side of the room. Then we took that room off as well. And that's when I took my part apart, and then we moved to the place in Long Bay.
Well, I was there first, basically.
Yeah, you
guys
were
came
there.
later. You guys.
We were building
did
it. We were
whatever you
taking
wanted
everything
to do.
apart until it came to the concrete structure that we also built. So we decided we're not going to leave any concrete structure there either. So we got sledgehammers and everything, and there were toilets there in that because it was a bathroom house. So we started ripping that whole concrete structure apart as well. We threw concrete in the toilet so nobody could use the toilet. Because we're like, we did all this, and you're taking it away from us. We're not gonna leave anything there for somebody to be able to use.
True. I mean, it was total destruction.
So yeah, we took everything apart, left the place kind of messy, but
Yeah,
we
but
took
it
all
was,
our materials with us,
right.
which that took us about 2 to 3 days to pack, like 2 truckloads, I think, of material that we sent up to that friend's house for storage.
Yeah, the huge, how you call it, not a barn, but something.
It was like I think it was an old dog kennel because they used to train dogs up there, and it was
but
just an empty building
really
with
big,
a lot
big,
of
big.
different
So our
rooms.
material would only take up part of that entire building.
And it was covered, and everything would have been secured.
Yeah, yeah.
That was up
So-
where we used to live, right?
Yeah, up in Bliss.
Yeah.
Up in Bliss again, yeah.
So we did all that. So that took us probably about 2 weeks to get everything done there. Had to give away a lot of our stuff too because where to
Yeah.
put it.
Where to put it, exactly.
Um,
Basically, yeah, we had to give up everything: furniture, fridges, stoves, you
Everything.
name it. You know, I mean, everything that you have in a house, we had to practically give it up, because what could we take to Germany? A few
yeah,
suitcases.
can't take nothing.
You know,
So-
and the hard part, and the same friend that gave me shelter up in Long Bay, I left 2 or 3 pieces of furniture with her that I did not want to lose, which one of them was a little table, sewing table, from my grandmother. that I had brought over from Germany, and of course I couldn't take it
From our
back.
great grandmother.
Yeah, from their great
I
grandmother.
remember it.
You say you have it.
still
It's
here.
here.
It's right now I have it still after all these years. And believe it or not, she would keep my mommy's urn too. Because I mean, seeing the laws in Germany, there was no way I
Yeah, to
could
get it to
take it
Germany.
back. Because over there, then I would have had to bury her somewhere and do something, or if I even could have taken her, because remember the story when they sent her by mail, and I had to pick her up at the customs office. So I said, no, mommy, sorry, I can't take you right now. I'll be back, you know. And my good friend agreed. She doesn't have a problem. She said, of course I'm going to keep your mommy. I will take good care of her. Which she did, because mommy is here back with us now.
Which is so weird though. Imagine you tried to get her over to stay with us when we were here, and then when we got her over here, we had to leave her and go back
Go back
over.
to
Yeah,
Germany.
it felt really weird too,
Yeah.
because it was like, well, I don't want to leave you, but I had to, so...
She had my didgeridoo too.
Your what?
My didgeridoo. The bamboo didgeridoo.
What's the
Oh
Oh yeah, I remember it. I remember it. Yeah.
I
Yosha
think
used
she-
to annoy me with it.
Did we get it back too? Yeah, she would
I
give us
don't know.
back.
Yeah, but I didn't get it back because I always forgot to pick it up.
Oh, maybe she have it now.
Maybe
dear.
she still
she
has
probably
it.
has it, you
Yeah.
know, because
She
she
might
not
still
lose
have it.
nothing. She will have it, sir.
But I know she had my beeswax. She probably still has that too.
Probably.
For the the mount part of the didgeridoo.
Probably. Like I said, she will keep it. And I mean, friends like that, they are really so valuable. It's incredible.
So weird.
Right? Up to this day, we are friends. So all that was for a good thing. Anyhow, we as Yasha was saying, we were not planning to stay away that long, but we didn't have a choice at that point in time, because also the money that the Port Authority had paid us, we used it up to construct
Yep.
the whole thing.
Yep.
You know.
Well, and to
Because-
live off of during that
And
time
living
because there
off
was
it.
no
Of
income.
course, so basically all we had left, literally, was money to buy tickets for the family. And at that time, your
Girlfriend.
girlfriend, did we pay for a ticket?
No, I think she paid.
She paid. She wanted to come too. So basically, we were 6 people. Like me, my 4 children, and his girlfriend that were flying that day to Germany. And we actually...
But we spent time in Long Bay a little bit.
A little
too,
bit
and Long Bay
before,
was
yeah.
really nice.
We had like, what, 2-3 weeks? in
Yeah,
there.
but I enjoyed Long Bay.
And ironically, again, throughout the time I was in Long Bay, I get to understand that the tax revenue people, the Jamaican revenue, was looking for me, because they wanted to charge me for taxes that I did my bookkeeping.
Oh,
I
for
put-
that year
No,
where you were
for
closed.
years.
Oh, for years.
But I always did my revenue, I always did my tax report, everything, but something, I don't know what was their problem, but they wanted to audit me.
Okay.
But at that time, the marina wasn't there anymore since a year already, practically. We were going anyhow, and I was in Long Bay, and I heard that they were looking for me at the place where
Okay.
we were, the marina
Yeah.
part, right? So I was like, you know what? You know?
Up yours.
Oh, seriously. And I said, I'm not going to make told anybody, please, if anybody from the tax office asks for me, you don't know where I am. And they never found out to this day, probably. And I hope nobody sees this. But basically, no, because I didn't have a business anymore. I did my things properly.
But you didn't
before.
have your paperworks anymore either, probably.
I don't even know what happened to those, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because throughout the breaking up and breaking down and moving up and doing this and doing that, and probably I burned some papers as well.
They got their taxes every year. They should have copies of that anyway.
Right. So I mean, but still,
Listen,
what I
revenue,
heard,
you have to have everything. 'Cause
what
they
I
trying
heard,
to rob you
they
all the
wanted to
time.
charge me $150,000 Jamaican dollar to pay,
Yeah.
which at that point in time was a lot more than
It
nowadays.
is now, yeah.
It was like about, that would have been about 5,000 US dollar or more, and I wouldn't have had it anyhow, so they would have to lock me up or something. Anyhow, I decided to ignore that as well. And so the day came when we actually hired a little bus to bring us to the airport. Right? Where did we fly from?
Did we?
Montego
I
Bay or
don't
Houston? I
even
don't remember.
remember the bus or anything.
We did rent a bus. I remember that because we were 6 people plus. I mean, we had a good amount of luggage.
Plus luggage.
Because we had basically not even so many clothes or so, but there were a few little items that I did not want to leave back. You know, sentimental things, and seeing that we didn't know when
we didn't
would
have
be back.
we
if
didn't
would
have
be back.
anything in Germany either, so we had to bring
Exactly, we had nothing in
all
Germany.
our clothes
Yeah.
and stuff like that, just for our day-to-day living when we get there.
And the plan was, remember, my mommy did die not too long before that. Actually, that was in the November 2001. My mommy died, and we left Jamaica. Now, after all this, in September, the flight was, we'll never forget, 11th of September, 9/11,
Cheap flights.
2002. That's when we left Jamaica.
Yeah, you got a lot of hits in a short period of time.
Wow.
So you
I'm
were
telling
going
you.
crazy anyway.
No, I was, in hindsight, I would say I was traumatized.
Yep.
I was
You had
completely,
every
I
reason
lost
to be.
my mommy, I lost my, like I say, my
Existence.
workplace,
Your-
my
your-
existence, my house,
Practically.
everything.
Your home.
And we were
Your
stranded.
country.
I lost my country as well. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And we
it was
all did.
everything.
5 people were uprooted without another really. I mean,
For me, it wasn't that bad because I was in Germany for like a year and a half. Was it like 2 years prior or 3 years prior? Yeah, so I had a lot of friends in Germany. It would have just been like going there and then seeing everybody again. I was kind of excited about that aspect of it.
I wasn't.
Not thinking about how long it is gonna take us to get back to Jamaica. Yeah, I know you weren't.
I wasn't excited at all because I was going crazy. I'm never going to see my boyfriend again. We were so stupid. We every time he would come visit me, because I basically saw him every day, and every time he left in the evening, we both would cry.
Every evening.
Every evening.
You both would cry.
Knowing that we're gonna see each other the next day, but every evening it was like such a
oh my god!
It's puppy
hard.
love.
I'm telling
They
you,
call that
man.
puppy love.
It was such a hard, what do you call it? Upsheet.
Huh?
Farewell.
Farewell.
Farewell,
Every
yes.
evening. It was like we were dying. It was like, don't leave me. But he's like, I'm coming
But
back
then-
tomorrow. And I'm like, no, but it's gonna be so many hours.
She
though.
is not the only one crying, remember. He's
crying
too.
A lot of the times he would be the one to cry first too.
So emotional.
I'm telling you, and then I think I thought about it like after a few years, we weren't together anymore. I'm like, you were so stupid.
Well, you were just 16. Come on.
But still, every evening, mommy.
So
Your
hold on there.
first love.
Did you cry when you were leaving to go to Germany?
No.
You weren't gonna see him again. See? That's what I mean. It's
The day that I left, I didn't cry, but the whole time before that,
yeah, every time you knew you were gonna see him, you were crying.
yes.
So it was
it's like the part when
so-
I knew I wasn't gonna see him again, I didn't cry.
It was probably tears of, oh shoot, I gotta see him tomorrow again.
No, it wasn't. It was genuine missing him. Those few
Okay.
hours I wouldn't see him.
Okay, I get you.
So last thing I remember basically of Jamaica is when we arrived at the airport with our group of 6 people and tons of luggage. I mean, we were not over. You know, we had
No, we had all our
allowance
2
and
luggage
we didn't even use up our allowance,
whatever.
but it still seemed to be a lot, you know, and everybody was kind of looking at us.
Yeah, nobody leaves Jamaica with 2 bags each and a carry-on and stuff like that. Everybody comes in like that, you know? So they're like, what are these people doing,
Exactly, so it was kind of weird. Very sad. I remember even the journey to the airport. Of course, I was looking out of the window and practically saying goodbye to every tree and every flower and every little house, and oh god, the sea is so nice and the weather is so nice. And when you reach Europe in September, it's not the nicest time of the year.
You're going there. The winter is coming.
Exactly.
We didn't even have winter clothes packed.
Right, we didn't have any.
I know, right?
Not even packed, we didn't have any. We did not own any because we had been in Jamaica for what, 2002? For almost 20 years.
Oh, and I
years.
had my 2 CD.
You had winter clothes.
I had winter clothes in Germany, I think, some jackets and stuff.
Yeah, you had some clothes, but none of us did have.
I had my 2 CD cases that I made sure to bring back to me to Germany too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his old time reggae. He was
best reggae music.
He is very into old time reggae.
Yes, I mean, come on, you know, the whole. I mean, you can go from the rocksteady ska time, you know, you go from the 60s, come all the way up.
Anyways, that's for another story.
Coming.
This can take hours, so we'll talk about that another time.
Yes, guys, so this is a huge cut in our lives.
Yep.
Not a very nice one, a very traumatizing one, and what is happening after once we reach Germany, that will be the subject of our next story.
That's it, people.
Okay, so looking forward to see you again. Bye.